Hey guys, evening, good evening. Want to see if it's recording. Hopefully I'm in the frame. But good evening. How are you guys? I guess you guys can't respond. Welcome back to whatever this is. Got this beautiful sight behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but we're here. Some abandoned railroad tracks. I want to talk to you today about winging it, because that's what I started to talk about last time. But I want to discuss today about what is it that I don't know what to talk about. I'm just gonna ramble on now about some story that has happened to me that led me here to this beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. Trying to think about what it is that I want to actually talk about. And I had thought about it earlier. And I hope when I post this that people resonate with whatever the subject that I'm talking about, whatever the title of this video is. Maybe it had to do with my relaxed sort of presence and mode of speaking that kind of resonated with people in the last video. So I will continue that sort of train of thought, and I will try to give you guys good auditory sensations for your ears, hopefully. And maybe that's a little bit strange to say out loud, but I think it is a good thing. And I hope that it gives you peace. And I got a comment the other day that said, "Thank you. Your voice may help me go to sleep." And I'm like, oh, thanks. But really, thank you for watching, because that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's enough light here, but that is surely cool looking sky. It's a nice spot. Seems like there's lots of birds out here today. started shooting little video clips for a makeshift film. It's just footage of a car going down a highway, and it was like super early in the morning, so it was the only car on the highway, and I was on the bridge that it went under. So like I was on the bridge, and the shot is of the car going under the bridge through and into it being the only lights on the street. And I thought that was a cool scene. Other than that, it looks like it's a full moon out tonight. It's a full moon over those mountains. Yep. That's what she is. Full moon here. And what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about breaking free from any external sort of influences and expectations that you think that other people have of you, and breaking free from having that be any part of your mental landscape. A lot of times people or advertisements or commercials, they'll tell you a story. The news, they'll all tell you a story, and it's of a world that you need to buy into, and that world is a world that is specifically created in order to sell you something. And not to go down the whole rabbit hole of mass media and advertising as a whole, but maybe you should break free from all that. Maybe you shouldn't buy everything that companies tell you to buy, or do everything that people tell you to do. And because if I followed what people told me to do, I'd probably be gonzo. There was a time in my life where I was in my early to mid 20s, let's say, and I was working this job, and I'd got out of college, and I started working this job doing lab stuff. It's like lab in the pharmaceutical industry. And it was for this pharmaceutical company, and I absolutely hated it. I did not enjoy it one bit. I would wake up and it'd be like 6:30. I'd have to be there at like 6:30 or something. And so I'd wake up, drive to work, and this workspace was like just fluorescent lights down long hallways. And on the left and right, there's like all sorts of people in lab suits and whatnot. And then there's like this cafeteria area, which is like similar to like an elementary school cafeteria type thing, but it was in this large pharmaceutical company's building. It was very, very strange. And I looked in, and during the lunchtime, and it was just, everybody was just looked super sad. I looked into the cafeteria, everybody in there, a lot of people were just like middle-aged, just sadness. And I realized that I had to get out of there. And I had told my mom about this, and I told her, hey Mom, like, I really don't like this, like, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore. And she's like, oh no, keep doing it, it's a good job, like, it's for your career. And I'm like, no Mom, like, it's making me very sad and depressed going in there all the time. And she's like, no, you have to go in there and you have to stick with it. And I didn't. I quit. I just stopped going. And I remember that my mom had told me, like, even after I had told her, like, I really didn't want to go, I really hated it, that I should still go to it regardless of how I felt. And that's when I realized sometimes you just shouldn't listen to other people, even if it's your own parents, because they don't know, first off, and they don't have that perspective that you have of the actual situation. And if you just blindly following them the whole time, you would probably end up in a very depressed situation that you yourself have put yourself into by following their whole directive. And that's when I realized that, hey, even though my mom's like, hey, you've got to do this, I realized that it is of my own best interest to stop doing it and not listen to what someone else is saying. And I think that you should really turn inwards and go in your own self when you're making decisions for your own self. And sometimes other people don't have your best interests in mind when they give you advice. So it's okay. That is all to say that when you're going through life and you're feeling some sort of way that you've got to make a decision, you really have to look inwards. You can't go out and ask for anybody else's advice, like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? When you yourself are going to have to live that life. it's like it's your life. You're gonna have to live that. So regardless of whatever you do, you're gonna have to live it. And the worst thing to do is do something because someone else told you to do it and then blame them when you are not living the life that you want to live. Like you have nobody else, no one but yourself to blame for taking someone else's advice that that you had the free will to take. I mean, it was all up to you in the first place. So I just want to help encourage people to make their own life and design your own life the way you want to, and not be sort of taken by external factors. Because a lot of times people only have their own limited perspective to give you advice, and they're coming from their own set of beliefs and their own set of values, and sometimes it's not what you yourself truly want or even need for your own self. And so yeah, it's a nice view over the water. But okay, here's the moment where I will walk a little bit far down. Walk a little bit down. I'll move the camera a little bit. Well, hey guys, I'm back. I think it's getting late. should head on back now. But this is a nice little stroll. Well, until next time, you take care. Peace.